Hello, everybody, and welcome to another video on this channel. Have you ever felt trapped in recurring patterns, struggles, challenges, even unexpected blessings? Why does life seem to manifest the opposite of what you seek? Difficult relationships instead of harmony, hate when you long for love, and when hardship strikes in childhood, the question deepens: what could you have possibly done to deserve it? One of the answers could be karma. Every thought you entertain, every intention you set, and every action you take, whether small or life changing, is shaping your destiny. But are we trapped by the past karmas, or do we have the power to rewrite our future? Stick around till the end to deepen your understanding of how to break free from the shackles of your karmic imprints and to ascend to a higher vibration to create a better life experience. Before we dive in, a big thank you to all returning viewers and welcome to all the new viewers. I truly appreciate the time you spend here. If you haven't already, consider hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much for all your support and love. So, without any further ado, let's dive in. Stick around till the end. You may discover useful information about ascension by understanding karma. We have all heard the word karma in casual chats, in the moments of reflection, or when life throws us curveballs. But what is karma really? In this video, let's explore karma through the lens of Hindu philosophy, how it's created, how it travels across lifetimes, and whether we can ever transcend it. Karma is the universal law of cause and effect. What you sow is what you reap. Every thought, intention, and action leaves an imprint, not just in this life but across lifetimes. It doesn't begin with birth or end with death. Our very existence, family, body, and circumstances are shaped by our past karmas, making it essential to understand how karma is created and how it unfolds. Karma is directly connected to the spiritual ascension, as clearing accumulated karmic imprints allows us for a lighter energetic system, enabling us to rise to a higher state of consciousness and awareness. By consciously transforming your karmic patterns, you dissolve limitations that bind you to lower vibrational realities, thereby accelerating your journey towards spiritual liberation and higher dimensions of existence. Karma starts forming on four levels: on the level of intention, then on thought, and then emotion, pretty much simultaneously with the thought, and action, with action leaving the strongest mark as it manifests into physicality and carries tangible consequences. Karma is stored and expressed through the Sthula Sharira, Sukshma Sharira, and Karana Shariras, that is, physical, subtle, and causal bodies. The Sthula Sharira, gross body, shapes life circumstances, health, relationships, and all of that, which you can physically touch, feel, and experience. The Sukshma Sharira, the subtle body, stores impressions, influencing thoughts, tendencies. This is our mental body. And the Karana Sharira, or the causal body, holds accumulated karma from the past lives, determining the soul's blueprint for future experiences. These interconnected layers dictate how karma unfolds, shaping the journey of each individual soul. Let us now consider an example of how karma could unfold. Imagine two people experiencing anger. One merely feels it internally, while the other acts on it by harming someone. The first person creates karma on the emotional level, which may subtly affect their future moods and relationships. But the second person, through action, sets in motion a karmic debt that will demand resolution, perhaps through suffering, apology, or redemption. Karma created on subtle levels, like intention or thought, written quickly, often shaping our mental states or attracting similar energies. But karma created through action may take time to return, because the universe must orchestrate the perfect circumstance for the consequences to unfold in equal proportion. Let us take another example. Consider someone who cheats in business. The karmic effect on their thoughts and emotions may be immediate, like guilt, anxiety, or a distorted sense of success. But the karmic consequence on the action level may take months or years, manifesting as a financial loss, a betrayal, or reputational damage when the right conditions align. This raises an essential question. If karma shapes our lives, what must we understand to navigate it wisely? The mechanics of karma creation are deeply subtle. Here, we will try to explore key concepts to grasp how karma is formed and unfolds across lifetimes. Let's break it down. First, we have to talk about how, as an individual, we perceive the world and the layers of its mechanics. So, there are generally five layers. First is Chitta. Chitta stores the impressions. It's like an energetic library of all your experiences across lifetimes. Chitta stores this in your Karana Sharira or causal body. Buddhi refers to the intellectual faculty and the power of discerning wisdom. It represents the ability to comprehend, reason, judge, and make informed decisions, essentially serving as our inner intellect or higher mind. Next is Manas or the lower mind. Acts like an interpreter of sensory input, operates on the Sukshma Sharira level, the subtle body. Then comes Ahamkara, ego, the evasive yet prime element which is responsible in creating undesirable karma most of the times. This is interlaced into your manas as a filter. The next is Indriyas, the faculties of perception and action. They are divided into Jnanendriyas, sense organs, and they are ears, skin, eyes, tongue, and nose. And then the next set of them are Karmendriyas or organs of action, which is speech, hands, feet, excretory, and reproductive organs, as part of Sthula Sharira, physical body. They work together with Pancha Tanmatras, which are sensations felt through these organs, which are sense of touch, sense of smell, sight, taste, and sense of sound. They act as a bridge between external experiences and internal consciousness, shaping karmic impressions based on how they are perceived and react to stimuli. By design, Indriyas are outwardly focused. However, their perception is filtered through Ahamkara, Manas, and Buddhi, which categorizes the experiences and stores impressions that influence karma. Ahamkara is the one that labels experiences as pleasant or unpleasant, and these judgments get stored in the chitta. Over time, this becomes our karmic blueprint. Even though Buddhi can overrule Ahamkara, Ahamkara has the capability to cloud Buddhi or reprogram it the way it sees fit. Ahamkara or ego is often misunderstood as mere arrogance or pride. However, it is far more subtle and foundational. Ahamkara literally means I maker. It is the force that gives us a sense of identity, of separateness from the world around us. It tells us, this is me and that is not me. It categorizes experiences based on conditioned perceptions, fears, and desires, often distorting reality. For instance, if a child faces mockery for their creativity, the ego may label creative expression as unsafe, programming the Indriyas, sense organs, to avoid similar situations. Over lifetimes, these conditioned responses accumulate, shaping attachments, which is raga, and aversions, which is dvesha, reinforcing karmic patterns. The stronger these labels, the deeper the karmic imprint, influencing future experiences. For more insights into Indriyas and which yoginis govern these Indriyas and operate through which chakra, check out Lalita Sahasranama playlist in the link in the description. I have also included a link that should be appearing right now on top of the screen for you to explore further. Getting back to the topic. These stored impressions in Chitta are called Samskaras, deep rooted tendencies that shape our thoughts, choices, and actions. Ever seen a child prodigy? Or twins with vastly different lives? Even our relationships are karmically interwoven. Some feel like soulmates, other feels like karmic tests. These are results of past life karmas. called samskaras. Samskaras are like grooves carved into the psyche by past experiences, repetitive thoughts, emotions, and actions that become tendencies. They're not just memories, they are powerful imprints stored in the chitta that influence our decisions, preferences, fear, and talents. Each soul carries this subtle impression across lifetimes. That's why some children are born prodigies or display strong inclinations from young age. These aren't accidents, they're karmic imprints of efforts made over many lifetimes. The same applies to phobias or instinctual reactions. They arise from deeply rooted samskaras that bypass conscious logic. Karma isn't just individual, it is also collective. Families, communities, even nations can share karmic threads. These shared patterns are known as collective karma. They explain why we are born into a particular family, why we encounter specific relationships, and why certain dynamics seem fated. It is not random, it is karmic entanglement. We are all connected. When our individual samskaras meet those of others, they interlace, forming the basis of our life's relationships and environments. For example, if your samskaras include abandonment, you may find yourself drawn to situations or people that trigger those wounds, not as a punishment, but as an opportunity to resolve and evolve. And this is why relationships can feel so familiar or so challenging. These bonds are often rooted in past life karmic debts that we are now here to resolve together. In a way, each of us is both a carrier and a conduit of karma. We influence and are influenced, shaping and being shaped by the collective field we exist in. So, the quintessential question arises: is there anything that we can do to undo the karmic imprint we created in our lives to manifest the life of our dreams? Unfortunately, the answer isn't binary. It is a little more complex. Let us try to break it down to understand further. Karma can be classified by its flexibility and by the time it manifests. Let us talk about the flexibility of karma first. First is dhrida karma or fixed karmas. These karmas are deeply ingrained and unavoidable. It stems from powerful past actions that must be experienced in this lifetime. Events like birth into a specific family, certain physical conditions, or inevitable life circumstances are shaped by this karma. No effort can erase it. It must be lived through. As it unfolds, its intensity diminishes but rarely disappears entirely until the end of life. If unfinished, it continues into the next lifetime until fully resolved. The second one is adhrada karma or flexible karma. This karma can be altered through conscious effort, spiritual practices, and self awareness. For example, if someone has a tendency toward anger due to past karmic imprints, they can work on patience and mindfulness to soften its effects. This is where free will plays a role in shaping our future. The last one is called dhrida karma, which is partially fixed and partially flexible. This is a mix of both. Some aspects of the karma must be experienced, but the intensity or the outcome can be modified. For example, if a person is destined to face financial struggles, their efforts may not completely erase the challenge, but they can reduce its severity through wise decisions and perseverance. Flexible karmas and mixed karmas can be the remnants of fixed karmas from a previous lifetime as well. Now, coming to karmas based on when they unfold. The first one is sanchita karma or accumulated karma. This is the total karmas from all past lives stored in Karana Sharira. It includes every action, every thought, and intention ever created. Not all of it materializes in one lifetime. It is like a vast reservoir, and only portions of it are carried forward into each birth. Second is prarabdha karma or active karma. This is the portion of sanchita karma that is currently playing out in this lifetime as dhrida, adhrida, and dhrida karmas. It determines major life circumstances like family, health, relationships, and unavoidable events usually. And then is Kriyamani karma or the current karma. This is the karma we are creating right now through our thoughts, emotions, and actions as dhrida, adhrida, or dhrida dhrida karmas. It is the most powerful because it shapes our future. Every choice we make adds to our karmic blueprint, influencing what unfolds in this life and beyond. And the last one is Agami karma or the future karma. This is the karma that will bear fruit in the future lifetimes or in the future in this lifetime. It is created by our present actions but has not yet manifested. For example, acts of kindness, devotion, or discipline may not show immediate results, but they will shape future experiences. This brings us to the end of technicalities of karma and its types, and how it is created, stored, and executed. Now that we have understood the technicalities, you may wonder what are some practical ways to transcend past karma and create higher quality karma. Here is what I have inferred so far through my reading and contemplation. If you have additional methods which can help, please put it down in the comments box below. I would love to learn from your experiences as well. The practices that we will discuss next can help you let go of unwanted energies in your system and help you in your spiritual ascension. If you are someone who wants to ascend to higher vibrational dimensions, some of these points may interest you. So, stick around till the end and listen in. The first and the most profound way is to live simple, be a good human being. Treat others as you wish to be treated, with love, respect, and compassion. It all begins with intention. When we consider the well being of everyone and everything involved and aim to cause no harm, we set ourselves on the right path. Intention is the seed from which our thoughts, emotions, and actions grow. What we sow in thought blossoms into emotions and actions. If intentions are flawed, the outcomes follow suit. You cannot sow orange seeds and expect apples to grow. Monitoring intentions isn't always easy. Self awareness takes time. Patience is the key here. One way to assess your intention is to examine your goal. Does it consider others? What do you truly feel about those involved? Is everyone benefiting? Or, at the very least, are they all unharmed? Are you the only beneficiary of whatever you are seeking? Asking these questions help pierce through the ego's illusions and clarify your inner motives. When intentions come from love, you don't mind a personal loss. The more consistently you extend that selfless love, the more aligned your path becomes. And once you become aware, you cannot unknow the truth. This steady refinement of intention elevates your frequency and guides your spiritual ascension. Next is to let go of unwanted energies to aid in spiritual ascension. In order to do that, cultivating awareness and detachment is crucial. Living with awareness enables intentional choices rather than impulsive reactions. By being mindful of your thoughts, emotions, and actions, you can better anticipate consequences and purposefully shape your agami karma, that is, future karma, for more desirable outcomes. Becoming an observer of your own intentions, thoughts, and emotions help you detach from the impulsive reactions. This practice prevents strong impressions from forming in the manas, that is mind, keeping it neutral and allowing for clear responses. When manas remains undisturbed, the chitta doesn't retain deep imprints, which reduces karmic burden and helps old patterns dissolve naturally. This process is crucial for spiritual ascension as it allows you to transcend the limitations of the ego and connect with a higher consciousness. Being mindful of habitual reactions and actively holding back from negative cycles prevent further karmic entanglements. As your actions shift, your emotions and thought patterns gradually follow. You can think of it as reverse engineering your karmic patterns. By actively working on yourself, you disengage from karmic cycles at an individual level, reducing both personal and collective imprints. Consciously created karma uplifts your own life quality and the lives of those around you. This awareness enables you to dissolve karmic chains that may have bound you for lifetimes. As you dissolve these chains, you accelerate your spiritual growth and move closer to a higher dimension of awareness. Forgiveness is another powerful way to cleanse your karmic imprints. While forgetting may not happen immediately, the emotional intensity of past wounds fade over time. Remember, forgiveness isn't for them. It is a remedy that heals your own soul. This act of healing your own soul is fundamental to ascend to a higher vibrational state. Also, taking responsibility and offering a sincere apology sets you free. Though often misunderstood as weakness, apologizing is reclaiming of your own power. When it is heartfelt, you are no longer bound by guilt, conscious or subconscious, nor by the person or the situation involved. Whether they forgive you or not does not matter, although seeking forgiveness sincerely is appreciated by everybody. The act of seeking forgiveness itself liberates you because when you own your part in someone's hurt, the shackles of guilt begin to fall away, and what remains is freedom and self respect. At first, shifting deeply ingrained emotions and intentions towards certain people or situations can be difficult. During this phase, avoiding triggers until emotions settle can be beneficial. The next one is a pretty practical approach and can support significantly in the journey, and that is chanting a deity's name, whether with deep feeling or as a repetitive practice without any emotion. Even then, it is said to reduce and burn sanchita karma, the accumulated karmic impressions from previous lifetimes. Many sages, saints, and ascended masters, including Shirdi Sai Baba, Neeb Karori Baba, Swami Yogananda, you name them, and so many of them, have always emphasized on the significance of this practice in the current times, as it serves as a direct means to dissolve karmic burdens. These practices are simple. You just have to repeat your favorite deity's name. And this helps you in raising your spiritual vibration, aligns you with your higher dimensional frequencies. Also, you could consider getting help with subconscious pattern clearing sessions such as hypnosis, akashic readings, past life regressions, and many other similar methods. They can reveal the hidden root causes of ongoing issues. Once you illuminate and resolve what's hidden beneath the surface, other issues stemming from the belief pattern often dissolve. While habits may persist, awareness makes shifting those patterns easier because once you see how you have been harming yourself, you won't be able to unsee it or return to those toxic patterns anymore. Patience is crucial element of karma transformation. Change won't happen overnight, as these patterns took decades or sometimes even lifetimes to form. Depending on the intensity of your samskaras, reprogramming your chitta may take weeks or years. Therefore, be kind to yourself. Embrace the journey and allow the space for setbacks without self judgment. This patient persistence is the key to sustained spiritual growth and ascension. Next thing is deep self reflection and intention. They are paramount. I spoke about intention earlier. Deep self reflection reveals how your choices shape karma, shifting responsibility inward instead of blaming external forces. Life isn't merely happening to you, you influence it by the people and experience you allow into your path. If you want to improve your circumstances for growth and other people hinder it somehow, try not to go your old ways finding faults in others. Instead, take complete responsibility for how others are making you feel and reflect on what is within you that makes you react or think that way. Once you see that, you will be able to shift your responses. Check what you may have done to elicit such reactions from others. Observe your parts. Have you treated someone else the same way this person is treating you? This may be the universe's way to bring your awareness about your actions to mirror the consequences of how other person might have felt. When mistreated, observe your reaction. Does your ego amplify the wound? does frustration mirror deeper insecurities. With calm reflection, you may recognize your role in the interaction or see that others act from their own struggles. Through honest reflection, you may realize that how you have treated others has returned to you through someone else treating you similarly. Once you stop passing the hurt to someone else, you stop propagating that negativity. Once you shift your reaction and response to compassion, you end the cycle of karma passing around. Slowly, you will see a better shift in your reality, how people respond to you, how things start working your way. You eventually become an example of how to be, and people will follow suit. Hence, shifting how we create karma on an individual level can cascade into personal and interpersonal levels, eventually improving collective karma and elevating the human life experience. Once you understand that experiences are drawn by your own past actions, you naturally begin shaping your thoughts, emotions, and intentions more consciously. As your internal state shifts, your external reality follows suit. And once you truly see this, you can never unsee it. This deep understanding is vital for shedding lower vibrational patterns and ascending to higher vibrational patterns. Understanding karma's deeper dynamics offers a broad perspective on life. Patterns repeat across lifetime. What we project, especially emotions like hate or jealousy, shapes our experiences. So, after hearing all this, you may wonder why bad people are always doing well. So, even if someone thrives despite negativity, it is often due to strong mindset or good store of sanchita karma or both. But eventually, karma balances the scales, sometimes indirectly or sometimes striking where it matters most to restore equilibrium. Mindsets break, good karma balance becomes negative eventually. Karma mirrors our inner state. To change what we experience, we must transform within, like flushing impurities from a jug steadily by pouring clean water. Karmic purification is a gradual process. Awareness, intention, and spiritual practices often help soften karma's impact and even transcend it. Some karmas must be lived, but many can be reshaped through conscious effort. Our essence reveals itself under pressure, just as sugarcane yields sweetness even when crushed. Our karmas reflect who we truly are. To evolve, we move towards neutrality, releasing judgments of good or bad, and flowing with life, unceasing and clear. In this liberated state, manifestations become effortless. And this kind of karmic awareness often leads to stillness. One is not driven to create more karma, whether good or bad, and contentment slowly starts to set into the being. Transcending karma means transcending ego, that is moksha, and also merging with universal consciousness is true liberation. The path is simple, yet demanding. Being a good human is not an easy path. Own your impact, love deeply, act righteously, and strive to live without harming others or yourself. However, unfortunately, with poor quality of collective karma in today's time, absolute purity may be highly difficult to attain, or surviving in this collective toxic karma will be nearly impossible unless we shun everything of this world. However, choosing the light, even in shades of grey, is the mark of spiritual resilience. The journey isn't easy, but it isn't impossible. As the Ascended Masters say, it calls for a will of steel and a heart as strong as diamond to be on this path of spirituality. So, here I am wishing such a will and a heart to brave our spiritual journeys as individuals and as collective. So, this brings us to the end of this video. I hope this video gave you something new to mull over about karma. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch. I truly appreciate your presence and time here. If you have found this video insightful, please like, share, and subscribe to support the channel. I'd love to hear your thoughts. So please drop a comment down below in the comments box and let's keep the conversation going. See you in the next one. Take care. Bye.